Quarter 2022 result presentation. So welcome to everybody. So we will go through a presentation of our results, and of course after that we will receive your questions. So the presentation screen will be in Portuguese. I will mainly speak in English, and Gonzalo Pires will speak, our CFO, in Portuguese, so a mix of languages. So I think that you already seen, the earning release this morning at 7 o'clock. I think that you've seen that our results are very good. It's very good financial results with a positive net income that is showing a significant improvement for the third quarter. And also our EBIT, when you look at the 9 months, is definitely a record EBIT, and we'll go to the numbers with you today. We had quite a difficult 3 months of summer during this quarter, July, August and September, with significant operational disruption. But we also expect 2022, despite this difficult operational issue, to be a good financial year. We still have a lot to be done, and with major milestones that are not only our new labor agreement that we started the process, but we still have to work on our operational performance and our customer service that are key pillars of our future. The environment around us remains challenging. You are well aware, not only about all the risk and rumors of recessions, inflation, and still, we've been facing them in 2022, and we will face them again in 2023. The high cost of our fuel, and also the fluctuation of foreign exchange that has a very significant impact for us, because quite a significant percentage of our cost structure is in dollars, being our leasing of aircraft and also our fuel cost. So that's for the summary. What happened in our plan? The plan is a good plan. The plan is a right plan and is delivering results. After the restructuring, we have now a new and only shareholder, the government, through DGTF. We have a new structure with a cap of our fleet of 99 aircraft until 2025. We have less employees. We had the capital injection with the last tranche that we are expecting before the end of this year. And we have our new strategic plan. We have a lot to be done with pillars about customer experience, including our network, our revenue evolution, with some already good result that you will see. Our cost structure, again and again and again, the cost we control, the cost we cannot control, and the cost we are still negotiating. And one of the most important pillars is our people, the enablers being our people, our new CLA, the engagement of our employees, but also all what we need to be successful, including our IT and digital transformation. With focus on aviation business, we started with MRO in Brazil. We are working now on the evolution of the ground force organization with the administrator. And we also did some announcements, on our fleet that we will develop further on. So the result for the third quarters, quite a record revenue level, even above of the same term in 19. A recurring EBIT also that is showing an amazing improvement. Same for the recurring EBIT margin and for the net income. So overall, a 9 month result with an improvement. We still, and our CFO will explain, a net income that is still in the negative, but a significant improvement, and a quarter that is definitely an historical quarter for the organization. The third quarter has been affected by the industry. We have been affected by not only what the disruption could be in Portugal, but everywhere in Europe and in the world. Our colleagues and competitors in Europe have been affected too. And we have been affected at the same levels than other big airlines in Europe. Does it mean that we have to be happy with our performance? Absolutely not. And we are doing everything with our team, what we can do internally, but also what we can do with our stakeholders to improve our performance. Some of the projects you will see will contribute to the improvement of our regularity moving forward, hopefully for the end of this year. But for the end of this year, you will see we have all the challenges, but we are working in building next summer. We have been recovering faster than most of our peers. Airlines' growth and availability are quite significantly correlated with the structure of the network. Our market have been recovering faster than others. We don't fly to Asia, for instance, so we have been able to really recover faster. Faster in capacity, faster in traffic, and faster in PAX revenues. That's even more important. So it's not only a good thing to reposition the capacity at 90s level, it's also more important to see a good performance in selling this capacity at the right price. And the passenger revenue are still in a very good shape. You can see the PAX revenue in red, and compared to 19, we see a PAX revenue that is definitely above 19. So a good summary of our result with a lot of challenges. And now, Gonzalo, for all the numbers.
Yes, the numbers. Bom dia. Os resultados dos primeiros 9 meses demonstram que continuamos a tendência de recuperar em capacidade, mas ainda estamos 12-13% abaixo da capacidade que tínhamos em 2019. Este ano, nos primeiros 9 meses, voamos 10 milhões de passageiros, abaixo dos 13 milhões que a empresa voou no mesmo período em 2019, mas com menos capacidade conseguimos fazer mais receita. No terceiro trimestre atingimos um valor recorde de receita na empresa, 7% acima do que tínhamos conseguido no mesmo trimestre em 2019 e voando não só menos capacidade, mas menos 9 aviões. Nós, no final de 2019, tínhamos uma capacidade instalada de 105 aviões e este ano voamos o cap de até 96 de aviões. Isto, na nossa receita unitária, demonstra um resultado de 23% acima no terceiro trimestre do que a empresa tinha conseguido em 2019. E muito por culpa da performance em load factor e em yield. E o que é que isto significa? Que estamos a voar menos aviões, mas aviões mais cheios e a melhores preços. E isto tem, obviamente, resultado não só na nossa capacidade de gerar receita, mas também de gerar margem. Não é só uma boa performance de receita, nestes primeiros 9 meses estamos também a demonstrar uma boa performance de custos. É, aliás, um pilar fundamental do plano de reestruturação, termos uma TAP mais eficiente e com melhores margens. Se o preço do petróleo, obviamente, é uma componente fundamental dos nossos custos, a subida do preço do petróleo foi agravada com o início da guerra na Ucrânia, e isto tem um impacto nas nossas contas, mas se olharmos para os nossos custos unitários sem petróleo, temos uma performance de 6% melhor do que no mesmo período, os primeiros 9 meses, em 2019, e isto mesmo com menos capacidade, ou seja, com menos aviões e com muito mais inflação. O que demonstra que estamos não só a conseguir cumprir o plano, mas a fazer melhor do que o plano. O petróleo é, obviamente, uma componente fundamental dos nossos custos e que tem que ser gerida e controlada. Nós, este ano, nos primeiros 9 meses, gastámos, até ao final de setembro, 780 milhões de euros em petróleo, em jet fuel. Isto representa 34% dos nossos custos e grande parte deste efeito é em preço, ou seja, é pela subida do preço do petróleo. Tivemos que, obviamente, tomar medidas para mitigar este impacto. Falamos muitas vezes e sempre que apresentamos resultados sobre a nossa estratégia de cobertura, de hedging. Estas estratégias de cobertura que começámos a fazer desde que esta administração tomou posse no ano passado, resultaram nos primeiros 9 meses deste ano em quase 100 milhões de euros. Sabendo o resultado EBIT, o resultado operacional de 150 milhões de euros que apresentámos nos primeiros 9 meses, demonstra e releva a importância destas estratégias de cobertura e do impacto que tem e que teve até agora na nossa margem. A estratégia que temos de cobertura e de hedging até ao final do ano é de 39% da nossa exposição ou do nosso consumo esperado. Obviamente não é a mesma coisa fazer coberturas quando os preços estão normalizados. Esta subida brutal do preço do petróleo também nos obriga a rever estratégias de cobertura e vamos continuar a monitorar esta situação com muito detalhe, dado o impacto que isto tem nas nossas margens e é fundamental proteger a operação e as margens da operação. Conclusão, temos melhores vendas, a melhores margens, com custos controlados e isto resulta nas margens operacionais que são recorde na empresa. Nós reportamos nos primeiros 9 meses um EBITDA de 511 milhões de euros e isto é o mesmo valor que a empresa conseguiu em todo o ano de 2019 para uma margem EBITDA de 20%. Na nossa margem EBIT, ou seja, a margem depois do pagamento dos aviões, continua forte, com o resultado recorde de 154 milhões de euros nos primeiros 9 meses do ano. Mas, infelizmente, ainda não é suficiente. Nós, mesmo com resultados financeiros recorde, ainda temos, nos primeiros 9 meses, um resultado líquido negativo. E isto é muito por culpa do peso da nossa dívida e do peso dos juros da nossa dívida. Nos últimos anos, antes da crise, a empresa cresceu muito e cresceu rápido. Esse crescimento foi feito com dívida. Hoje, a TAP é uma empresa mais alavancada que os seus concorrentes e, por isso, o mandato da administração, que é entregar uma TAP financeiramente sustentável, que é entregar bons resultados não apenas uma vez, mas consistentemente bons, exige um trabalho de redução de dívida e essa redução de dívida precisamos de tempo e precisamos de bons resultados e de uma performance consistentemente positiva. Quando olhamos para as margens operacionais, percebemos que a TAP tem hoje margens operacionais melhores que os seus concorrentes, não só em EBITDA, mas também em EBIT, e isto é muito resultado do trabalho que estamos a fazer, não só na receita, mas também nos custos. E o que podemos ver nos primeiros 9 meses do ano é que estamos a melhorar a nossa receita unitária, ou seja, a nossa receita por assento disponível por quilómetro, contra o que a empresa conseguiu em 2019, nos anos pré-crise, e estamos a fazer isso reduzindo os custos unitários. E isto mesmo com menos capacidade e com um cenário de inflação muito mais alto. A nossa posição de liquidez continua muito acima da execução do plano de reestruturação e do que era esperado. Nós, no final do semestre, reportamos uma posição de liquidez de 890 milhões de euros. Hoje é ligeiramente mais baixa, segue o ciclo de performance das companhias aéreas, em que se gera caixa no primeiro semestre e no verão, quando se voa mais, consome-se mais cash, mas continua a níveis muito próximos daqueles que eram no início do ano e muito acima, como disse, do que era esperado no plano de reestruturação. A evolução da nossa dívida tem ligeiros aumentos também por culpa da evolução do dólar, como comentou a Christine. Grande parte da dívida da TAP é em dólares e isto tem impacto, obviamente, no valor da nossa dívida. Além disso, entraram este ano na empresa 2 novos 321LR, também financiamos 2 novos motores para a nossa frota e este é o resultado. Até ao final do ano ainda teremos uma injeção de liquidez, a última tranche do plano de reestruturação, que entrará sob a forma de capital.
Obrigada. So how do we look at the next 3 months? So first indicator is forward bookings. How much of our capacity has been already booked between now and the end of the year? And if we compare where we are in October this year compared to the same indication in 19, we can see that the forward booking of a flight are even better, healthier than in 19, thanks to the good work of everybody and also the commercial team and Sylvia's team, so that has been doing a fantastic job in making sure this revenue are not only strong, so that we don't see any inflection of demand so far for the end of the year. So our customers are still willing to fly and to fly with TAP. We have to be very cautious because we renegotiate every day some contracts. Some contracts we can negotiate reduction, but there are some contracts also that are impacting with inflation, and that also has an impact. But so far we think that we can keep this trend between now and the end of the year. What will be critical for the next month is absolutely the customer satisfaction and potential disruption, and that's what we will look at moving forward. When we see the progress and what has been done, last presentation we gave you a list of top priority projects we had on our list to deploy. The first one is most important one. I will come back on that. It's renegotiating all our new collective labor agreement, and that's a key priority. We launched our employee engagement survey, so that was one of the commitments we had, and we will present our result to our leadership meeting that we'll have in November, so the 14th of November. We've been already starting a leadership training program for quite a number of leaders in the organization. It's for them the first experience in leadership, so they need some training. So we started the program with Catholica, and we will deploy new promotion this month and next month. We are really focused on making sure with the administrators that are in control of ground force, we prepare ground force to be even stronger for next summer. And we have to do it now to be ready for next summer, so that's really important. We work on our onboard services. We have been reopening new lounges. We have been launching also new structure of fares. We are a bit late for the relaunch of our new stopover program. We are part of the ecosystem of tourism in Portugal. This stopover program has been very successful in the past, but we think that we can do better in promoting the destination with more days in Portugal and even more partners. But the launch now is planned in December. We implement quick wins already on our website, on our app, but it's not enough. We will invest more. We've been also flying the first flight, from Portugal with SAF Fuel in partnership with Galp and ANA, but that's only the first flight. We need to go, even deeper in our sustainability, and we need to relaunch our commitment. And we have some deadlines that we have to honor with our IATA colleagues and the industry. We are working on all our governance processes and step by step reviewing policies that have to be redefined, updated, and also our network. If we focus on our customer, I think that what is really important is first the achievement. Remember last year were a lot of complaints about the difficulty for a customer to reach our call center. I think this performance is completely changed. We are now, above 80% of the call answer. We will go above 80%, and we are also completely reshuffling the call center structure with new partners. We've been fixing errors, as mentioned, in our digital channel. But what we need to do in the future, and what we are doing now for the next quarter, we are in process to select a new partner for our call center. So moving forward, we think that it's also important to always challenge and to see what we can do better with the partners that could help us in developing new innovative solutions. We also will select new partners for our website and for our app. Our TAP brand image will be strengthened next month. You will see new campaign, We have also deploying training and to engage more with our staff that are on the ground facing customers. And we are doing some work already in Lisbon Lounge. It's only the start with a limitation we have, but we are trying to do as much as we can to improve the experience of our customers, starting by our hub. On fleet strategy, you've been hearing a lot. Just to try to explain a little bit what we are trying to do. You know that we have a cap. So in third quarter 2022, 94 aircraft. We are moving, to next year with a cap that will be 98, and you that our maximum is 99. And we will still grow next year in capacity. We are now finalizing the budget for 2023. So to deploy a capacity that is growing at the level of 19, we need more capacity. So we are doing that by changing the mix of the fleet, meaning by having more narrow body and wide body in the TAP main line. We will finally receive all our Embraer. So being at 19 Embraer as was defined, but the mainline fleet will increase. To do that, we will redeliver ATRs. We are closing our contract with White. It has been closed yesterday and the day before, 31st of October. And we will work with a new operator, to operate the 2 ATRs that will fly, as you see, next year, moving from 5 flying to 2 flying for next year. So that's the evolution of the fleet. To do that, we got finally the certification of the cargo aircraft that were in our hangar waiting for the certification of EASA. It has been a marathon, but I think this administration has been pushing a lot, and we got the certification finally. So one of the 2 is already flying. We have a cargo aircraft flying. The first flight was between Zaragoza and Toronto. And we have this pipeline of cargo for the full cargo aircraft, the only one we have in our fleet, full between now and the end of the year. So that's very good news. The other aircraft is in modification because we decided, because of shortage of aircraft on the market, to transform it in a PAX 330. And this aircraft will be flying full PAX for next summer and hopefully maybe earlier. It was for us the best solution, the best way to ensure a good fleet mix and also ensure the delivery of our capacity for next year. The new CLAs, there have been also a number of news. I think it's quite simple. Our CLA, most of them have been signed in the past, and they are very complex. They are outdated, and the result of CLAs that have been signed in 2005, 2006, most of them. So, and we think that we can do better together. So the current situation is that with the emergency agreement in place that have been put in on the top of a CLA, we don't think that the emergency agreement, will enable the future of TAP and for us being sustainable and profitable. So we think that the new CLA are really important and will allow us to move out from this emergency agreement. So we still have in place the emergency agreement. It depends on the type of employee we are talking about, but the average, for instance, is 12% for the cabin crew, for the headquarters 25%. So the 25% communication has been done, but it's very different from one population to another because we have also the minimum, the 2 times the minimum wage, under which we don't do any cut. So this emergency agreement are in place. To move to new CLA, we need to denounce and put a proposal on the table. Doesn't mean this proposal is a final agreement, because the idea is to be able to discuss this agreement, and we know it can take time. So we are doing that one agreement by one agreement, and the idea is to find the best agreement for the future. I'll give you an example. The proposal we have on the table with our SNPVAC colleagues could not be enforceable till February 2026. So the proposal on the table is a proposal to be discussed with plenty of time to find a fair balance agreement with them. And more or less with all our agreements, we are talking about agreements where we have time to discuss till 2025. So we are taking our time to make sure we are constructing is positive. For us, it's key. We see all the players, stakeholders, and including the unions, are providing constructive and positive outcome on all this discussion, and is vital for the future of the organization. This quarter have been difficult for everybody. All employees have been contributing to this good result. So that's why also we think it's very important to mention that these CLA are nothing punitive, it's just a way and part of the change of the organization. So in conclusion, positive financial result, but a very challenging environment and uncertainty ahead of us, external uncertainty, and we don't know yet what will be the demand for 2023. We have some indications that demand is still very strong, but any external event could impact it. And more than anything else, for us it's very important to think we cannot do and we cannot deliver result with the contribution of everybody. We deliver this result with a level of humility. Of course, we need to celebrate it because it's important. But I think having a level of humility is really important because we don't know what the future will be. But we know that if we are all working together, delivering with the same objective to make this company stronger, we will be successful, and everybody will be involved in building a great and bright future for our company. So thank you so much, and we are happy to receive all questions. Yes.
Boa tarde, não, bom dia. Miguel Domingos, da SIC. Vou fazer as perguntas em inglês. Peço já desculpa se houver aqui algum problema, não é perfeito, portanto vou fazer as perguntas em inglês. Lots of critics of the unions about the change of the headquarters in the few weeks. What do you think about that, and how much will cost the change of the headquarters to the Parque das Nações? 2 weeks ago, the Minister, Pedro Nuno Santos, spoke of planes about above market value in the audit made by TAP itself. What values are talking in this case? In the last month, TAP has received many complaints about the service, not delays, about the service on board. Are you doing something to increase the quality? And last, the unions have referred to you like Marie Antoinette of TAP. What do you think about that?
I hope that I will have my head cut. Okay, I didn't know that I was Marie Antoinette, but I discover every day. Okay, so on the first one, the move, it's difficult to understand what is the critics because we didn't even start to communicate. So to communicate on something that has never been launched, that's interesting. But okay, we are getting used to that. I think that when we start to communicate, when we'll have something to communicate, and there is no rush, we will see, what people could criticize or not, okay? And it's too early to do that, because the project is still in construction. So yes, we have the intention to move. The way we will move, when we will move, and all the financial dimension that will be communicated is still something that is not finalized. So that's the first answer. The second one, you want to answer on the fleet?
Sim, nós, esta administração, aliás, com um conjunto de contratos que a TAP tem com os seus parceiros, tem como responsabilidade para cumprir o plano Não só implementar uma estratégia que maximize receita, mas também e acima de tudo controle custos. Nós já negociámos 800 contratos para uma poupança de 140 milhões de euros e vamos continuar a fazê-lo com grandes e pequenos fornecedores, porque é nosso mandato e é nossa obrigação fazer tudo que torne a empresa mais eficiente e ter contratos financeiramente que beneficiem a TAP e não o contrário. Eu relembro de que das primeiras medidas que tomámos foi fechar a manutenção no Brasil. Relembro também que recentemente, com este anúncio da redução da frota de ATRs, estamos a pôr fim a um contrato que prejudicou ao longo dos anos financeiramente a TAP. Se olharem para as margens da empresa, da TAP, percebem, só pela diferença do prémio que temos de margem EBITDA para o prémio que temos de margem EBIT contra os nossos concorrentes, sabendo que os aviões no PNL, numa demonstração de resultados de uma companhia aérea, são depreciações e amortizações, percebem que a nossa frota, os nossos aviões, são caros. Quando chegamos à TAP e analisamos todas as componentes de custos, percebemos que temos uma frota mais cara do que devíamos. E é no contexto de perceber, junto da Airbus, não só o que temos, mas o que podemos mudar, que fizemos um estudo que entregamos ao nosso acionista. É a nossa obrigação, é a nossa obrigação fiduciária, como administradores da TAP, proteger a TAP e fazer tudo para que os contratos que a TAP tem que cumprir sejam contratos que beneficiem financeiramente a empresa.
Mas há valores?
Não,
Nós não vamos comentar nem dar mais detalhes sobre isso, como deve imaginar, porque a relação que a TAP tem com a Airbus, que é um parceiro fundamental para a nossa operação, tem que ser protegida e é uma relação que queremos manter e é uma conversa que já estamos a ter há alguns meses e que ainda durará alguns meses antes de percebermos se podemos melhorar a situação da TAP.
On service, yes, we are been putting in place new projects, new initiatives, many projects between Sylvia and Ramiro because it's between operation and commercial. There's a lot of work to be done. Honestly, the industry has been facing a ramp-up that has been challenging for everybody. There is no excuse, okay? It's about also making sure the process we have in place, the team that have to solve the issues, and we will always have disruption. It's not only this summer; it will be forever because there is never operation in our industry without having disruption. We need to make it better. So that's a top priority. It's a project where we are putting internal resources. So you're on my nickname. What do I mean to say? I'm a little bit, I think I'm closer to. I think I speak more than my employees, than Marie-Antoinette was speaking to the French citizen. I know well French history. I'm trying to learn Portuguese history. But okay, let's see. It's difficult for me to comment on any nicknames, etc. So I don't see myself close to this character of history. But it is what it is.
Mas acho que é importante sublinhar, sem comentar nicknames, o plano de reestruturação está a funcionar e esta é a mensagem que apresentamos com os resultados dos primeiros 9 meses do ano. Nós estamos nos primeiros 9 meses de execução do plano de reestruturação, que é um plano exigente, que exige a contribuição de todos e todos são donos deste resultado. Ainda estamos longe de conseguir atingir a sustentabilidade financeira, que é o objetivo desta administração ao cumprir o plano de reestruturação, mas acho que estamos no bom caminho.
And I think we have to also, I'm still surprised that some people talk about little TAPZing, etc. We had 105 aircraft in 2019. We will have 98 in 2023, end of 23. It's 7 aircraft. So it's, I think in exchange to having a state aid, to have this number difference, it's nothing. Moreover, when you're delivering the same level of revenue with a smaller fleet. So I think this story has to be closed because there is no story anymore and the facts and numbers are proving it. It's a right plan, it's working, it's difficult, it's full of challenges, and we still have to work a lot, but it's working.
Simão from Near Vivo. TAP must end this year with losses not exceeding 53 million euros. I ask you if this goal is achievable. Second, I ask you how much will TAP pay this year in compensation for delays and cancellations during the last summer. Tomorrow, cabin crew will discuss a possible strike. I ask you how can a strike could affect TAP in the next months. And for last, I ask you how and when TAP will start to pay back the state aid.
Okay, so I will start with the cabin crew and... okay.
I'll do the rest.
On the cabin crew, I don't understand. I understand that it's difficult to accept that all our employees have cuts, but it's a plan. And the emergency agreement have been signed by the unions, you know, in 2021. It was not a long time ago. The fact that in addition there is a reaction to a proposal that is put on the table that is only a proposal for discussion, for me it's difficult to understand, because if you have a reaction to something without starting to discuss, I think discussion around the table is really key. So for me, I'm available and invite all unions, and we are working a lot with all of them to come along with us and discuss and have discussion about this proposal, and it will take time. A strike will be a disaster because it will hurt all the good work that have been deployed by all employees of the organization after a third quarter that is proving that it's a right plan, and it's a right plan also to rebuild the pride of this organization, not only for TAP employees that are working very hard, but for the country. And with all the sacrifice of all the Portuguese citizens thinking that we could have the strike, that we are, you know, on track, and they are a way to build a new, you know, accord de empresa CLA, it doesn't work. It doesn't add up. Yes, a strike is never good for any organization. But I think that the dialogue we need to have should be not through this type of action, but it's not up to me to decide. And I think we should sit around the table and see what is possible, and share the fact that by having good result, it's also creating trust in a management that has been criticized, but at the end that should be only judged on results. And management is delivering results, and management is doing the right thing, but cannot do the right thing without everybody understanding we are on track and we are delivering what we need to deliver to build a great future for the company. So let's see, and I think the strike is a freedom. I respect freedom. We are in a country where this freedom should be also really important, but it's not the right time, it's never the right time anyway.
Sobre o resultado dos 53 que comentou, nós com estes resultados dos primeiros 9 meses demonstramos não só que estamos no caminho certo, como estamos acima dos objetivos do cumprimento do plano de reestruturação. Por isso, não podendo divulgar ainda no que será o resultado, até porque ainda faltam alguns meses, sentimos-nos confiantes que vamos fazer melhor do que o número que mencionou. Sobre os valores, sobre compensações, nós orçamentámos um valor que é inferior ao pago pela empresa em 2019. O que podemos dizer é que estamos abaixo do valor que orçamentámos e, por isso, consideravelmente abaixo aos valores pagos pela TAP no ano de 2019. Obviamente, diga. Nós não divulgamos detalhes de todas as linhas da nossa demonstração de resultados, como deve imaginar, mas é consideravelmente abaixo. Entretanto, obviamente que percebemos que temos alguns desafios operacionais, uns exteriores à TAP, e que nós temos que gerir e gerir melhor, mas em compensações financeiras vamos gastar um valor inferior ao que tivemos no ano de 2019. Sobre a outra pergunta, foi sobre o repagar a ajuda do Estado. Ao contrário de outros planos, o nosso plano de reestruturação envolve injeções de capital, não é dívida. E por isso o acionista, com a ajuda do Estado, injeta liquidez, capital na empresa, tomando posse precisamente da empresa. Hoje a empresa é controlada a 100% pelo Governo, pelo Estado português.
Bom dia, Marina Conceição, RTP. Eu vou falar em português e devagar. Gostaria de lhe perguntar sobre o processo de reprivatização. Tem sido novamente notícia, o presidente da Air France disse publicamente estar interessado no processo da TAP. Ontem foi também notícia que o grupo IAG, da British Airways e da Iberia, também querem estar na corrida. O que é que era melhor para a TAP? Teme que fique uma TAP menor se pertencer a um grupo grande? Outra pergunta sobre as licenças de paternidade e maternidade que dão conta que a TAP poderá cancelar no mês de dezembro 400 voos. O que é que se passa com a organização dos horários dos pilotos e dos tripulantes de cabine que possa levar a esta falha de 400 voos numa época tão importante como o Natal? Obrigada.
Sim, obrigada. So on the first question about what has been communicated by other organizations, first I think that everybody should be very happy and proud to see that some external players are interested in this wonderful organization. Is because I think that it's also showing that this is a value, there is a real value, and they already spend time and hopefully a lot of money to look at it. Okay, I have no idea today, and because it's just a declaration saying what is major. It depends what are you looking at. Okay, and at the end I will not make the decision. But I think it should be and will be because it's a lot of work, and the shareholder will drive this process. As management, we will provide the data, we will provide our experience of the industry, we will work on network, we will work on fleet, but we are not the one who will decide who is the best, bride or, whatever. So that's not up to us. That's for the first, but I think, generally speaking, it should be seen as positive news. Doesn't mean that it's something that will happen tomorrow. On the second question, between now and December, first we need to go finish the top sky. So all the migration of the navigation system in Portugal will end by end of November. So that's the first step. And then, maybe people don't know, we will have the French one, because the French will also have their migration, because all European navigation systems have to migrate with a deadline. So, and people don't see that, but from a pure navigation perspective, we are flying France to go more than to France. So we are going north through France. We are going also some route east through France. So it will impact generally our operation for December. So that's one dimension that we need, now that we have a better understanding of the impact, to understand what do we have to do to make sure we are protecting as much as we can our customers. Okay. Honestly, this number of flights that has been quoted by some of our unions, I was the first one to discover this number, so we didn't validate any number so far. We have a discussion this week, so thank you very much. So, but as you know, everything that any information, even the ones that we don't have, are, you know, leaking. So everything is public. So there are some scenarios. So I don't know what the final number will be because we need to take a decision. On the family assistant days, so we are talking about a right that have all citizens with children under 12 years, okay? 12. So it's a right. Like you have to right if you don't feel well not to go to work tomorrow. Or you have the right to go to work too. So we have a peak of requests. And if we are talking about facts, we have peak of requests for the Christmas period, but it's not the first year. But this year is even bigger. So we are not talking about sick leave. Of course, we are respecting maternity leave. We are respecting sick leave. And for us, when people are sick, absolutely unfit to fly for a cockpit crew and even for a cabin crew. If you're not well, you don't fly. So it's difficult. It's a challenge for us. So because we have to try to manage as much as we can. So we don't want to offend. We don't want to say it's right or not right. We are just saying it's difficult for us because we have to manage with something we cannot control. And I cannot recruit people only for you know, Christmas weekend and summer. Doesn't work. So we need to also understand the difficulty of this administration. But okay, if telling the truth is not good, I think freedom of speech and freedom of information is something that should be available even for management.
Parentalidade são mais este ano do que foram nos anos anteriores? Sim. Mas não consegue determinar
mais de 10%.
Ok. E os 400 voos de cancelamento também não pode confirmar? Não tem
o número não é final. Eu acho que o que podemos dizer é que, obviamente, faremos tudo para proteger a operação, proteger os nossos clientes. Se o fizermos, é precisamente para proteger os clientes e os passageiros que confiam na TAP. Mas esse número ainda não está decidido, porque o número em si ainda está a ser trabalhado, dependendo de muitos fatores, alguns deles, como referem, de pedido de licenças, que nos vão reduzir o pessoal de voo para o período de Natal, que infelizmente é recorrente e que é um tema que temos que lidar, o absentismo.
But we want to take a decision as soon as possible. We want to give these numbers because there is no reason to hide these numbers, and we will do it when we will have carefully review everything with operation, commercial, and making sure also, because it's complex, the type, which flight, for which reason, so we have to look at many things, alternative option for customers, so we are still looking at it.
Não nos podem dar mais detalhes sobre a auditoria? Quem é que fez a auditoria? Quando é que avançaram com ela? E quanto mais caro ou quanto mais paga a TAP pelo leasing dos seus aviões face à concorrência?
Como disse ao seu colega, o estudo que lançamos já há uns meses procurava responder à pergunta de porquê que a TAP tem condições de compra de parte dos seus aviões, debaixo do Purchase Agreement, do contrato de compra que foi assinado em 2015, mais caros do que a concorrência, porque afeta as nossas margens e porque o mandato desta administração é precisamente não só reduzir custos, mas fazer tudo para que a empresa seja financeiramente sustentável. Esse estudo foi entregue ao acionista Não vamos comentar nenhum tema sobre as conclusões desse estudo, não só porque não o devemos fazer, mas também porque as conversas e as negociações com a Airbus estão a decorrer neste momento, já decorrem há uns meses, vão continuar a decorrer nos próximos meses. A Airbus é um parceiro importante para a TAP e manter boas relações com um parceiro como a Airbus é importante para todos nós.
E quem fez a auditoria?
O estudo foi feito por nós, pela administração da TAP.
Hello, good morning. I'll try to speak in English.
Thank you.
I'd just like you to ask if you can tell us the number of leaves that TAP has already received from workers concerning the right to assist their family. If you could give us a number. You said it was 10% higher than last year, but is it possible to know the number? And also, I would like to ask you, you said that there's still a lot of people wanting to fly with TAP, so there's no fall in on the sale of tickets, but I would like to know how much the prices have gone higher since last year, if you expect that to happen in the next year as well, as long as inflation and high fuel prices are still there. Thank you.
Okay, at the peak for Christmas, the number of requests, or not requests because it's right, is around 300. On the price, it's difficult to answer because I look at Sylvia. It's difficult to answer. The best way you measure it is the yield, okay? It's increase of yield. Because RASK is a combination of revenue and offer, but it's the increase of yield. But I think yes.
Dos primeiros 9 meses contra os primeiros 9 meses do ano passado, a tarifa média subiu 23%. A subida de preços na indústria é não só culpa da subida brutal dos preços do petróleo. Como viu na apresentação, o preço do petróleo representa 35% dos nossos custos. E a TAP, como todas as outras companhias aéreas, teve que rever os preços para basicamente não perder dinheiro sempre que levanta voo. E a TAP não está a fazer nada de excepcional, porque a indústria toda acompanha estas subidas de preços, e esse é o valor, 23%.
And again, we will do nothing to hurt the company and results. The revenue and management team is doing a great job in monitoring everything what is going on. All the shift of price changes are available, they are transparent, we can see them, they are visible in the systems. So it's every day we look at what is going on, the flows of traffic, what are the flows of traffic. We have some up and down, and the team is doing a very good job to follow that.
I'm sorry, you talked about 300 people with leaves on week of Christmas. That's mainly cabin crew, only cabin crew, and also pilots, or?
Very few pilots, mainly cabin crew.
And what is the weight on the total? About 15% of the total workers?
We have 3,000 cabin crew and almost 1,200 pilots on a total of 7,000.
4,000?
Yeah.
It's like less than 10%.
So 3,000 cabin crew, okay? It's 10%, yeah, but it's above, of course, it's above all the other type of leave. We are not talking about the total numbers of the people that cannot fly, because that's one of the reasons we don't talk about sick leave, maternity, and all what you can imagine is structurally a different story. I would like to add something, if I may, before having a question. We communicated today to all our employees that like always, it will be easier for this management to suddenly say there are no more cuts. Okay, salary cuts are painful for all employees, and we understand that. But we have a plan, we have a commitment, we have the emergency agreements that are, you know, a commitment for anybody. And a commitment. But we also say to employees today that we will look at the result for 2022, and the results are proving to be excellent results. We are ready to work with our union partners to see if we can reward our employees for a good result for this year. Why? Because we understand the pressure. We understand that it could be difficult. Even if we've done the update of the 2 times minimum wage, having in mind that inflation is impacting more low-income families and high-income families. But we have that in mind. So anything that will be done between now and the end of the year will impact these results. So that's why I think that we need to be all together. We are willing to reward our employees, and we were trying to find solutions that will not impact the plan, but it's important that everybody understand that it's not because we don't want to do it, it's because there are some parameters we need to respect. And in a situation where the results are really good, we can definitely look at solutions to reward our employees, but it's far too early. There are so many things we don't control, so and that's why I think that we have to remain calm, focus on what we have to deliver, and together we could find solutions that also could answer to some questions we have, but it's far too early to give these answers. So our result full year will be published end of March, beginning of April 2023 for the full year. And we hope this result to be very good, because there is reason to think that this result will be very good. And to have this result being a good story also to find a way to reward our employees. For it's a very strict roadmap, so we don't have many margin of maneuver, but results quality will drive our flexibility, and that's really important to understand.
Nós acreditamos que, dada a natureza dos resultados dos primeiros 9 meses, conseguimos fazer melhor do que está inscrito no plano de reestruturação, tal como responderia a sua colega. Acho que já respondi.
Annabelle has always good questions.
Vai sair em dezembro.
Sim.
Estão à procura de uma solução interna? Vai ser
interna e externa. We communicated, Walter, so will have another job. It's been published, so it's official. So, and we wish him all the best. He's a great, manager. So I'm sure Emirates will see him as a very good performer too. But we have to find a new leader, so we are doing internal external. So we already communicated internally that we are ready to consider any internal and external solutions. So for external, we are working with a headhunter.
Aproveito para voltar aqui. Disse ainda há pouco que está, e lembro-me que quando anunciaram o encerramento da manutenção em Engenharia Brasil era até ao final deste ano.
Não. A decisão foi tomada o ano passado. O processo de encerramento está a acontecer. Ou seja, a empresa de facto já foi encerrada. Operacionalmente já não temos nenhum avião no hangar. Nós reduzimos de 500 trabalhadores para menos de 15. Por isso a operação está a ser gerida para pagar precisamente as contingências, e esse processo vai continuar, não vai acabar este ano, vai demorar mais uns meses.
On manutenção, just one thing, because we closed the mini Brazil, I think because it was in the group, maybe nobody realized that we had quite a significant percentage of our activities that was outsourced to Brazil. we reinforce that, and now the problem we are facing is mainly a problem of capacidad in, we are not surprised, in our infrastructure. So we are trying to find solution. It's not, of course, we have difficulty like all high-skill organization to recruit engineers because also of our salary cut, to recruit also TMAs, but there is a lot of recruitment going on. But we see more engineers exiting the organization because the turnover, because of the competition we have around us, and new organization in Portugal paying good salary for engineers. So, but the main issue we have is the infrastructure capacity. So we are looking at finding solution to make sure that next year we don't need, for capacity reason, to outsource work because we don't have enough space in our hangar. So, but this change was absolutely vital for the financial, future of the company, for obvious reason. Everybody understands that, closing M&E Brazil. But now we are trying to rebuild also because our fleet strategy now has been defined, the right infrastructure to provide as much, work as possible to our employees in Portugal, but we need the space and the capacity, and in Lisbon it's a challenge, but we have some ideas, okay?
Só uma questão dos muito falados BMW.
You want to take this one?
Se efetivamente se achava que era uma opção mais barata, porquê que acabou por ceder à opinião pública? Se era uma melhor opção para a empresa, porquê que cedeu à opinião pública e recuou?
You have to tell me, because I'm not the one creating the public opinion, no? It's because the pressure of public opinion has been awful. Things that have been said have been difficult. But this management is just telling the truth. So we will take time. In fact, we have been suspending a change, and we are trying to make sure that it's for a better next step, and we will figure out. So we are delaying a solution that was economically the best one, and it's not always the best economical solution that are the most easy solution to sell. So we have to be better in selling our decision. Perguntas? Não mais? So,
Obrigado.
Thank you. Muito obrigada.